Hey guys, welcome to Simplified iOS, and in this video we will learn about Firebase Realtime Database. So we have a NoSQL database Firebase, and we can store data to Firebase Realtime Database, and it is more flexible and easier than using a SQL database where we have to code very much with the server side coding. But if we use Firebase, we don't need to much worry about our backend, and we can quickly develop apps. So in this video we will see how we can store data from iPhone application to Firebase database. So for this you have to come inside Firebase console, and here we will create a new project. So create a new project, and here you can put any project name like FIRDB example. Now create project. Now you are inside the Firebase console, and here click on this iOS button, as we are going to use Firebase for iPhone application. So hit iOS, and here you need to give your bundle ID. For this, come inside Xcode and create a new project. Now I am selecting a single view application and hit next, and put your project name like FIR example or FIRDB example. Now hit next and save your project. And here you can find your bundle ID, copy it and paste it here. Now click add app. Now from here you can download the google service.plist file, and we have to add this file inside our project. So download this file, and so we have the file, and come inside your project again, and inside your project right click and select add files to your project, and select your playlist file which you just downloaded and add it to your project. Now close your project, and it is done. And close your project and come inside your project folder. So we have FIRDB example, and drag it to the terminal, and it will open a terminal window inside your project directory, and here you have to write pod in it. Now go inside your project folder, and it will create this command will create a pod file inside your project. Right click this pod file and open it with any text editor. Now you can see the docs that for adding Firebase database, for using Firebase database, we have to add this pod. So add this pod and save your pod file. Now again back to terminal and write pod install and hit enter, and it will add the Firebase Realtime Database to your application. Now you can close the terminal, you can close the pod file, and again go to your project folder, and you will see your project name .xc workspace file. You have to open this file now. Now we have our project. Now come to main.storyboard, and here we will define a UI for storing something on Firebase Realtime Database. So for this example, I will be storing a list of artists with their genre in our Firebase Realtime Database. So we will having three values: the artist ID, artist name, and artist genre. So we will generate the artist ID automatically, a unique artist ID, and we will get the name and genre from the users with the UI of our application. So for this we will create two text fields. So drag a text field here, and you can give a placeholder like artist name, and copy it and paste it, and it would be for artist genre. and we need a button as well to save the data to Firebase database. So add a button and add artist. Now we need a label as well to display the success message. So define a label here. Now that's it. Now click here to open assistant window, as we needed to connect our view with code. So press Ctrl and select your text field and drag it to your class inside view controller.swift file. So we will give a name, text field name, and we will do same for the genre. Control, click, drag, text field genre. Now same for the button with a little change. Button add artist, and it would be now an action, as we need to perform some action when the button is clicked. So this time function is created, you can see, and this function will be executed when the button is tapped. Now connect the label as well to display the success message. So label message. Now we have connected our views with the code. Now come back to editor and go to view controller.swift. Now here first we will define or import Firebase database. So we have imported Firebase. Now we will define a Firebase reference. So we will define a var ref artist, as we are going to store a list of artists. So this ref artist will hold a reference of Firebase database of artist node. So we will define an artist, and it would be FIR database reference. So we have the Firebase database reference. Now inside on view did load function, we will get the reference. So come inside this did load method, and here we will get the reference to artist node. So we will write ref artist equals to FIR database dot reference dot child, and we will pass a string, and we are going to store artists. You can leave it till here. You don't need to get a reference to a child always, but this will get a reference to the root node of your JSON tree. But we don't want it, we want the node artist. So we have the artist. Now we will get the values from this text fields, and we will store it to Firebase database. So for this we will define a function add artist. Now here we will first get the values, and first we will define a unique ID for our artist. So for this we will define a key, let key equals to, and we will use our reference ref artists dot and we can use the method child by auto ID, child by auto ID, and dot key. Now it will generate a unique ID to the reference given, and will store the unique ID to this key variable, key constant. Now we will define our artist, let artists equals to, and we will define the artist. So first we have ID, artist ID, and the artist ID is the key that we generated. Then we have artist name, and it is inside the text field artist name. So we'll write text field artist name dot text, and it would be as string, and we will do the same for artist genre. Now text field genre, oh sorry, it is artist test field name, it is test field name, not test field artist name. Then we have text field genre dot text as string. So we have id, artist name, and artist genre. Now we will store this artist to Firebase database. So we will write the reference ref artist dot child, and we'll go to the key and we will set value as artist. That's it. Now it will store the artist. Oops, I have written function here. It should be func. It is Swift, and that's it. Now it will store artist to Firebase database. Now let me explain you what is happening here. First, we are generating a unique key inside our artist node, and then we are defining our artist, and then inside the unique node that is generated inside the artist, we are setting the artist. Now we just need to call this method when the button is tapped. So we will call it here inside button add artist. So call add artist, and that's it. Now let's try running your application and come inside Firebase database. As the default rules don't allow any user to read or write to database, we need only authenticated user that can read or write to Firebase Realtime Database. But we haven't done anything with the authentication part in our application, so it will not be able to read or write to Firebase Database. So for this, come inside rules and write true here. But remember, you should not use these rules. This is only for example, so I'm using it. As if you will use this rules, anyone will be able to access your database. So I'm published the public rules. Now we have the database. Come inside it, and one thing we forgot, like come to view controller dot swift, and here we will set a message to our label that the artist is added. So we'll write label message dot text equals to artist added. Oops, we have the small error. We forgot to call the method fir app dot configure. We have to call this method whenever we are going to use Firebase. So now this will work. Run it again, and now put an artist name like Atif Aslam and put the genre to rock and click add artist. Now you can see artist added. Now let's check the Firebase database. You can see a new node here, and it is Atif Aslam. It is added in Firebase database. Now let's try adding some other artist like Arijit Singh. Click add artist, and you can see a new node is generated. So this is how we save data to Firebase database from our iPhone application using Swift. So I'm wrapping up this tutorial here, and if you are having any confusions or troubles, you can leave your comments and I will try to help you out. And if you liked the video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel and share this video as well. And in the next video, next part of this tutorial, we will learn how we can retrieve these saved data from Firebase database to our iPhone application. Thanks for watching.